These lights are good, but I think we could do one better. Let's see what I can come up with. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another very exciting episode right here on the MIgardener channel. In today's episode, I'm going to be teaching you guys some ways to maximize the efficiency of your grow lights by up to 75%. So with that being said, that was kind of what I was doing in the beginning, was kind of just prepping something using materials that we had on hand so that I could kind of just give you guys an example of something that you could do if you just happen to have some cardboard and some paint laying around. But the whole idea behind growing indoors is that we're using lights, and these lights they're not that powerful. They might seem really bright, and they're bright enough to grow plants, but even the cloudiest day outside is nowhere close to the brightest lights you can get inside. And so part of the reason why lights are not as efficient or as effective as they could be is because of what's called wasted light or light seepage. So light seepage is what happens when light seeps away. And this is basically why, you could basically take a newspaper and you could read a newspaper with your back facing the lights, because the light is leaving, it's bouncing all around, and it's bouncing off of the walls, it's bouncing off of the floor, it's basically just going everywhere. And what you want to do is you want to focus as much light as possible on your plants, because your plants are what's using that light energy to grow and to photosynthesize. And so a lot of gardeners find that they have to keep their lights exceptionally close to their plants, because the closer they are to the plants, the less wasted light or the less light seepage there is, making their lights more efficient. However, what can happen is as your plants grow, it gets really challenging to not only continue that upward growth, because you're gonna have to move the lights up so you don't burn your plants, but also the leaves down below, the lower canopy of the leaves will start to get really thin, really yellow, and start to die because they're not accessing that light. And so what I really like to do is to maximize the efficiency of the light using what's called reflectors. Now, reflectors have been used for decades. Photographers have been using them to bounce light when things are not right. The herb growing industry has really used these very effectively using things like grow tents. It's like all these like mylar tents that you wrap around your lights. Again, it's just, they have really made that, they've made that kind of a very effective system to maximize their lights. And when you're growing lettuce indoors, the same exact thing applies. So I'm gonna be teaching you guys just some simple ways to make some reflectors and some things you probably have around your house. And we're gonna kind of talk about how effective those things can be. All right, so this is the giant reflector that we made just using a piece of scrap cardboard and some white spray paint that we had on hand. It's not perfect, but it's white and it's really lightweight, which is nice. So what I can do is I can move this behind the lights like this, and I can put it in the back here. Now what you'll notice is that light that was getting basically lost or seeped behind this cardboard, you'll notice it's a lot darker back there. And that's because it's creating a shadow, and that's because the light is being stopped. Well, it's not just being stopped by this cardboard, but the fact that it's white is now allowing it to stop and get bounced back. And because we put it so close to these plants, and I really love to put my my reflectors on a slight angle, and that basically captures any light that's coming down and bounces it down on the top of your plants, but also is going to reflect up underneath your plants as well. And that's really important because, again, that lower canopy of leaves doesn't get the sunlight. It does not get the grow light, if you will. And so they can really benefit from a little bit of light bouncing up underneath the plant as well. And so this is just one, right? So this is going to be about about 40% efficiency increase from your lights. From there, the efficiency will continue to go up the more reflectors you can add. The less, the less light is being seeped out is going to increase the efficiency. But you'll find the largest efficiency jump happens with just one reflector. So we've now increased this light by roughly about 40% from just doing that. Now, if we wanted to increase it by so this increased by about 40%. One on the sides would increase it by about 60%. And then if you added another reflector on the front here, that would increase it by about 75%. And once you get to about 75% efficiency, it gets very challenging to just continue to bounce that light down because light will always kind of be lost. But the thing is that you can turn a light that normally would have had to be 2-3 inches from the plant and on basically on 16 hours, 18 hours a day, to now you can move it 5 to 7 inches away from the plant and you can keep it on maybe 12 to 14 hours. So you're not only getting it further away, you're keeping it on less time, you're basically conserving that energy near your plants, which is awesome. All right, so let's say you don't want to go the reflector route, or maybe you don't have cardboard on hand, you don't have some of the other materials on hand, you just want to basically make a grow room that's going to be very efficient. Well, the first thing you can do is paint the walls white. That's because white, again, will reflect that light. And though your walls are going to be pretty far away from your plants, they still will reflect that light. Because again, there's light bouncing 10 feet in the other direction. So if you can get some of that light to bounce back, that will increase the efficiency. So painting these walls white helps a lot. We've in fact done this to 3 of the 4 grow rooms we've had over the years. And again, it's not the best thing that you could be doing, but it's a good step in the right direction. And so yeah, go white if possible. The other thing that a lot of people ask when looking at like paint colors is, do I go with a glossy white or do I go with a flat white? And believe it or not, glossy white is actually, it will reflect more light, but I prefer going with a flat white. And the reason why, that flat white has some texture to it, but the glossy white tends to bounce light sometimes in directions you don't really want. And it bounces it in directions that kind of might not be where you want it to be. So it might not be directly on your plants. And so, for instance, if you had glossy white above your plants, like if you had it directly above the plants, that'd be great because it would bounce it straight down on the plants. But if you got it on an angle, that glossy white might literally reflect most of that light in a direction that's not even going to help your plants at all. And so I like to go with a flat white because it kind of softens the light, disperses it, and it just basically bounces any of that usable light back on the plants in a much more usable way for the plants to actually access. So flat white, kind of eggshell white is great. Go as white as possible, and you're going to be at least one step in the right direction. All right, so we talked about painting the walls white, and we talked about cardboard as being good reflectors, but are there any other materials that make good reflectors? And the answer is yes. You can use poster board. Poster board is a wonderful reflector. Now, you might have to go out and buy it, but it's only a couple bucks. It's pretty inexpensive, and we've actually used it and had really good results with it. Now, again, it's not free, but it will save money in the long run. So even if it costs you $2 or so, it's going to save you probably $10, $20 in light energy, because the longer you have to run these lights, or the less efficient they are, the more money is being wasted, really. And so you'll find over the course of these lights, if you use something like poster board, it's probably going to save you $10, $20, believe it or not, in just light energy. So take that for what it's worth. I think it's a good, worthwhile investment. The other thing you can use are bed sheets. Now, I've seen bed sheets used with great success, but the problem is that these lights can get pretty warm, and I don't want you to burn your house down. So I'm not going to tell you how to use bed sheets, but just use them in a safe way, please, if you're going to use bed sheets. But they can work. White bed sheets work phenomenally. The only thing I will also say with bed sheets or any non-rigid material is that they create ripples, and those ripples can trap light because it basically creates those little pockets of shadows. And so that can kind of trap light. So make sure that it's as taut and straight as possible so it reflects that light well. Now, the other thing you can use is actually styrofoam. So we've used styrofoam in our hydroponic setups for years. you can get huge, huge sheets of styrofoam. Also, if you just, if you happen to go to like a packing supply place where they're throwing out a bunch of scrap styrofoam, it's like 1-inch thick boards, styrofoam boards. And I believe it's also maybe called foam core board, but you can get stuff, scrap being thrown out, huge pieces of this stuff, brilliant white, and it's super lightweight. So that's gonna reflect a ton of light back. And we've used that, like I said, for years, and it's awesome. Now, the only thing I would caution you guys on is using mirrors. Do not use mirrors. One of the most common questions we get asked is, can I use a mirror? And the answer is you should never use a mirror. The reason why is, yes, it will reflect light, but it's the equivalent of using glossy white. Now, glossy white is not nearly as bad as using a mirror, because a mirror will reflect all of that light, 100% of it. It will just basically reflect it in completely the other direction. And so what it can do is it can actually create hot spots. And those hot spots, if you've ever taken not that you should, but if you've ever taken a magnifying glass and like started a fire or like burnt ants, again, don't do that. You probably shouldn't do that. But it creates those hot spots, and it can actually magnify the light in areas and create spots that are hyper concentrated, and then other spots that are not nearly as efficient. And so it does not work like white does. So that's why you should definitely go with a white surface if at all possible. Okay, so I really quick wanted to just kind of give you guys an example, just for a real life example of just how effective a white surface can be. I took a styrofoam plate here, again, nice and white, and I want to bring you guys in close just so you can see on this scale how effective something white can be at bouncing wasted light back. Now again, the lights are only overhead. There's no magic tricks here. The light is moving in a downward motion, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna stop the downward motion and we're gonna bounce it back up. Check this out, this is crazy. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna put the plate underneath. Look at that. That's from I'd say about 7 inches away. Look at how much light is being bounced with just one styrofoam plate. And again, all of that light is gonna bounce back up and hit these leaves. And so you can see just how effective, if you had an entire surface of this, how effective that would be at bouncing all of that light back onto your plants. All right, so there we go. There is how you can increase the efficiency of your lights by up to 75%. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something new. I really quickly kind of wanted to throw in a quick little tidbit fact here with how much money a reflector can save you. Because a lot of people ask me how much money it costs to run these lights. Now these are an 8-bulb T5 high output compact fluorescent. It's a ton to say, but that basically just describes this fixture in a nutshell. And each one of these fixtures will cost roughly about $20 a month to run, and that's running them 16 hours a day, 8 hours off. And so we're running them all month long, and I'll break it down by a month-by-month basis just to kind of give you an example. So $20 a month to run them without a reflector. Once we added a reflector, we only had to run them about 12 to 13 hours a day. So they were on for 12 hours and basically off for about 12 hours. And that dropped our cost from $20 a month down to just $15 a month. And so the light efficiency is preserved by about 75%. The cost does not quite drop by 75%, right? So you're dropping your cost by about 20, 25% or so by adding reflectors. So again, it can save you a lot of money in the long run. And the other thing I'd say too is that if you're worried about the cost of your lights, a reflector is obviously going to save some of that money, which is nice. But just remember, the amount of stuff you're growing under these lights is really what matters. I mean, a head of lettuce is like $4. And in this tray of lettuce right here, we probably got like 50, drop some water, we probably got like $50, $60 worth of lettuce here in this tray once it's fully mature. And so these lights maybe cost $15 a month to run, but I'm growing potentially $70, $80 worth of lettuce in one session. And it only takes a couple months to grow it. And that's if you're growing it completely under the lights. We're eventually gonna move them out into the greenhouse. So to get them to this point, maybe only cost 15, 20 bucks of electricity to get them to this level, and then the rest is gonna be done by Mother Nature. So just remember that too, that these lights are They can be expensive. You can cut that cost with a reflector, but even all of that considered, the amount that you're going to be growing is so much more. So think of it kind of that way as well. All right, so there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something new. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I know that it's kind of getting into that plant starting season, and a lot of you have asked about grow lights, so I thought I'd make this video. I know it's a shorter length one, but it doesn't always have to be long in order to learn something, right? So make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment in the comments box down below what you learned, if you learned something. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, this is Luke from the MIgardener channel, reminding you all to grow bigger. Take care, guys. Bye.